Good evening. Welcome back to Greasers and Goblins session 2. We finally have final art for Sybil. So moment for Sybil. Yes, yes. Our queen, the love of our lives. Bad bitch number 1. So we are going to start off with a couple of fun things before we get to the recap. So, just to kind of take a minute to help everyone get into character, I prepared some questions. So let's go around the room, starting with Alan. If you could spend a whole day with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Huh. If I could spend the whole day with one dead or alive person. Like from the world?
Nope,
Or
just
just
from
in general? Like a general
any
knowledge
person.
thing?
General knowledge thing. Anyone you can think of. Like if Alan were to exist in these times, who would, dead or alive, who would he want to spend the day with?
I don't know. I can't think of a particular name off the top of my head. But um I think he would probably want to spend like a day with one of the people from like past times who were like chess masters, since he had just picked up the game and he became like not addicted to it, but he was interested by it. So he like would sometimes take time to like study it and learn from it. And I think, knowing how he is, he would love to be able to get insight from people, if he knew that existed, were experts and like champions in that art, so he could learn from them.
All right. Good choice. Next, Chastity.
Hi.
If you could be transported into the world of any book or story, which would you choose and why?
Interesting. I think Chastity would want to go to the world of Alice in Wonderland, specifically the Lewis Carroll novel,
Mhm.
because I think she would really like something that was different and unique and interesting, but also kind of cozy and safe. And I think in that world, she would probably get along best with Alice herself and with the Jack of Hearts.
A Jack of Hearts. Interesting. Okay. I love that answer.
Thank you.
Next, Christian. What is your favorite dream and your worst nightmare?
Hmm. Let me think. I feel like the dream is easier where probably like being at the top, whether it's king, president, like being in charge of everything for like a big dream. And nightmare, probably losing the ability to do art.
Okay. Okay. Good answer. Next is Damien. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Damien,
Yes.
you're 3 drinks deep at a bar. Who's
Mhm.
sitting next to you, and who's the bartender?
Free drinks in. He's definitely hitting on some chick, who he didn't catch the name of, and that doesn't matter to him. And she's probably going on and on about some ex-boyfriend who treated her badly, and he doesn't really care about that at all. He's just really focused on what he can get out of this evening, and I'd probably say the bartender. I feel like there's a guy in town, probably named something like Davy, who has been letting him in definitely when he was not supposed to be let into bars in high school. But it's like a confidant. It's like he he's a sports kid. He likes to talk about the teams that are playing and everything. So he's made enough of a connection that he's able to skirt on by and making sure that Davy's got another drink lined up for her once she's done with this latest spiel.
Alrighty. And finally, Sybil.
Mhm.
What would you like to be known and remembered for, and why?
That's a loaded question. Um, she probably would like to be known as just like a wild child. Like she doesn't care if she has a reputation. So, but yeah, she'd probably like to be known like her wild streak, like fun loving, easy go, down to clown, whatever.
Down the clown.
Down
Yeah.
the clown.
To clown.
Sounds
Um,
good. Keep going.
Sorry, what was the second part of the question?
What would you like to be known and remembered for, and why?
Remembered for. I think like the remembered part, she would love to be remembered as I don't know actually. I want to say like someone who was there. I don't know. Like yeah, just I feel like
Interesting.
she
I
would
like
get massive FOMO. So yeah, someone who's there.
that. All right. All good answers. So, with that, let's dive into session 2 of Greasers and Goblins. We're not in fantasy Kansas anymore. Can everyone except Sybil roll a constitution save?
Do you want us to tell you
Where's my
now or wait?
D20? Oh, there it is.
I would like you to tell me now. Let me know when you're all done.
I'm set.
Fucking starting off with cock dice.
I rolled.
Got a number.
Oh, I did get a number.
Alrighty. So, starting with Chastity, what did you roll for your con save?
Cassidy rolled a 9.
9. Okay, Alan.
5.
5. Okay, Damien
24.
and Christian.
14.
14. And can each of you just put that in our chat for me? And then Hunter, would you please give us a recap?
Yay. Sure. No, I was
You're
joking.
very
I was
enthusiastic.
like, damn, I got to recap. No, I'm just
You're supposed to take notes.
wait, I was supposed to write this down? All right. So recap from the last session. We all had agreed to going on this summer road trip Alan, Damien, Christian, Sybil, and Chastity.
Mhm.
Organized by Christian himself. The location was kind of not determined, so everyone was kind of
Undecided.
kept in the dark. It was kind of undecided. So we all had met up in the school's music room on the day of graduation, and we kind of formed a little group there, and we did go to the ceremony when it was time. Couple of dramatic things happened, namely Damien almost getting into a fight over his boyfriend.
You don't know about that. Anyways.
You know, but thankfully Christian was aware of what was happening, and he stepped in and diffused the situation before it got worse. Ultimately, everybody went about celebrating their graduation in whatever way they wanted to. And then the next day, all 5 of us gathered together in Damien's van, and we set off immediately for our road trip. And while we were journeying, I don't even think it was a day in, right? Like, it was literally
It
happened
was
on the
the
first
end of
day.
the first day. It was the end of the first day.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
within our first day, we stopped at a diner, ate some good food, and discussed where we would be going. But then at nighttime, fatigue started to set in for all of us, including the driver, who decided to partake in something he probably shouldn't have behind the wheel.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the 50s. It's normal.
Hiccup.
It's the 50s. It's legal. Anyways.
And where I remember us last leaving off, the van was heading into the lights of another vehicle coming the other direction on the other side of the road. And Christian made an attempt to reach the steering wheel.
All right. That was actually a pretty good recap. I don't feel like there's anything I need to add. Oh my god, it's okay. So let's see. Alan was nodding off. Sybil was pretty much crashed out. Chastity was awake, but kind of getting ready to rest. And we all know how Damien was.
Mhm.
So, Sybil,
Mhm.
you find yourself wandering around a dense forest. You are surrounded by gnarled trees with branches that grow and twist in all directions and at odd angles. You have to climb over some of them just to keep going. Sometimes you hear a strange creaking sound, like a branch is trying to reach out towards you. But these are some of the biggest trees you've seen in your life. The canopies almost block out the sky completely. You hear the calls and cries of birds and animals you can't put a name to. Snakes slither in the grass below. You find yourself following them until you stand in a clearing, moonlight pouring down from above. In the middle of the clearing is Damien's van, busted up and ruined, and a body hanging out of the passenger window. What do you do?
She freezes at the side of that body. She's gonna go over to it and like see who it is, and I guess try to help.
Okay. As you step closer to examine the scene, you see other bodies within the van. And the body that's hanging out of the window sits in the seat you remember being in. The hair is matted, with blood and pieces of glass puncturing the arms. Nudging the body by the shoulder makes it roll over ever so slightly, and you find what you fear the most as your own face stares back at you with lifeless eyes.
Oh, what the fuck?
Your chest burns as you feel vomit bubble up in your throat. You swallow and manage to keep it down.
She's gonna look in the car and see. Is she gonna see everybody else?
You do. What a shame, you hear a disembodied voice say.
Who was that?
Up here, sweetheart. Would you roll
Up
perception?
where? Yeah, okay.
Roll a perception check.
$11.
Okay. So, after whipping your head around, trying to find where this voice is coming from, you look up in the branches and see a pair of legs dangling down. You make out like a faint silhouette. Poor thing. Look what could have happened to you all. And as the voice say those words, you force your eyes to go back towards the van and acknowledge the other figures, your friends, in the car. You see Damien slumped lifelessly in the front. Christian splayed out between the two of you, hand reaching for the wheel, broken and bent at an impossible angle, face bloodied from hitting the stereo and the dashboard. Chastity mangled at an odd angle, trying to reach for something in front of her that isn't there. Alan would look peacefully asleep if it weren't for the large piece of metal sticking out from a garish wound in his side. You force
Skin was
yourself to look away.
pale white.
I could fix that for you.
Fix how? Who are you?
Do you walk closer to where the voice is coming from?
Yeah.
So, as you take a step closer, two long, slender legs with knee-high leather boots jump down from the branch they were sitting on, and you watch the figure walk towards you. When they step into the moonlight, you are faced with a handsome creature. Long, pointed ears, high cheekbones, a chiseled jaw and pointed chin. His long hair is loose and flows about him, although there is no breeze in the air. The color matches the green of the forest floor. A white, billowing blouse is tucked into a pair of high-waisted trousers. He looks like a creature from a book you would have read, if you read books. His hands are in his pockets as he looks down at the dead bodies of you and your friends, expressionless. Well, what do you say? I can make sure nothing like this ever happens to you again.
What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck just happened here?
What do you mean? You died! Or could have died.
What do you mean could've?
He gestures towards the van without saying anything.
Well,
I mean, none of you look rather alive in there, do you?
No.
But if you're quick on your feet, I could make sure that this isn't your reality.
How?
Magic, darling.
She just like looks at him like in utter disbelief. Magic.
Come on, peep the ears. Come on, you're human, not dumb.
Thank you for the compliment, but magic isn't real. Who are
Really?
you? What?
Who am I? Darling,
Yeah.
don't worry about who I am. But you, I know all about you, Sybil Daniels.
She takes a few large steps back.
Darling, come on. You're running out of time. And he op- he takes one hand out of his pocket, and you see unnaturally long, slender fingers. And he snaps, and you just see this little pocket watch poof into the air, and it ticks, 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 and it swings back and forth.
Upon seeing that, she goes like, "Oh, wait, hold on. So you're saying you can bring us back to life through magic?"
Well, right now, you're not dead. But, he points to the van, you could be.
Okay. And why would
You're
you do this?
Hmm. It would be entertaining.
Again, she gives you like the most bewildered look and like under her breath, she's like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like she just cannot get a read on this guy.
He starts taking steps towards you. That's not for you to worry your little pretty head about. He holds out his hand to you, trying to meet for a handshake. Let's make a deal.
What kind of deal?
Well, I save you and your friends, give you a little power to move you along, and when I'm bored, you do something to make it a little fun.
She gets
I'll
like
call in. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's like when she hears that, she gets like a disgusted look and like, "You're not a pimp, are you?"
Oh my God, what's a pimp?
Someone who, I don't know, sex work. I don't know. Who
Oh
are you?
no, 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 no. Oh, ew, no. I just mean like if I need a favor, not of the sexual kind.
Is the clock still ticking?
Yes.
She looks like between the clock and the car. And she just grabs the hand like, fine, whatever.
So your hands clasp in a shake. Don't worry, darling. This won't be the last time we see each other. Damien, you stir with a groan. Your body feels really sore.
My
The last
head.
the last thing you remembered was bright white headlights coming right towards you. Your head is pounding, and you feel a warm, thick liquid starting to cake into your skin. The taste of iron in your mouth.
I rub my face, see where it's coming from.
As you reach up to dab at the blood that you feel collecting above your eyebrow, it takes a moment to register that it's not a human hand coming up to touch your face. You lower it to see thicker hands covered in short, fuzzy fur, tipped with sharp claws.
What the? I look around. Where am I?
Your van. You notice that the van looks quite different, if you could still call it that, at least. The doors are missing, and there's no sign of a windshield or steering wheel. And as you sit upright, you find that you are crumpled up on a wooden bench, upholstered with cushions and patterned fabric. In front of you are two horses, hitched up to whatever structure you find yourself sitting on, and a set of reins are tangled together at your feet.
Fan. I'm at the front of this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there like a flap behind me or something like that, or?
You look back and it's more of an open wagon. Immediately to your right, in between you and another body that you don't recognize, is Christian. Um, and I'm going to use that leeway really quick.
He'd probably try to shake him awake, so.
Yeah. And as you do, literally as you touch him, Christian, your head feels heavy. The last thing you remember was waking up to a loud horn as Damien sped and swerved on the freeway. You were surrounded by open fields and grasslands in the middle of the night. Now, sunlight barely peeks through dense treetops. Your body hurts, and you feel a big, large hand shaking your shoulder, and a soft voice in your head. You finally arrived.
I grab my head. Is there any blood on my hand when I pull my hand back?
No.
Well, that's good at least. I'll look up to see what's the big hand that's moving me.
Hey.
Would you like to describe yourself, Damien?
Damien is less human and more bestial. He's coated in this kind of golden brown fur. He's got a thick brown mane instead of just like the little bit of swoosh over hair that he normally does. His eyes are bright with thin slants. He's got thick hands with claws on the claw tipped. Probably noticeably his outfit, he's wearing substantially less clothes than before.
Probably like
He's
only
kind
pants.
of He's kind of got like almost like a kilt like leather skirt, and then the strap that goes across the shoulder, and there's a shoulder pad on the right. He looks like a lion. If you merged a human and a lion, this is what you'd get.
Oh, is that you, Damien?
What the? I, I guess so. You got a mirror. You like?
I might have one in my bag.
That'd be
But
so strange if you just had a
let me
mirror in your
just.
bag.
I mean, like a pocket mirror.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, like a pocket mirror.
It's got a whole like standing mirror.
Yeah, let me just.
Let me
pull
just
one
whip
out.
this out of my bag.
It's
Hang on,
full
Sibs would
wall.
have
Probably.
something like this, and
Full
he'll start to
wall.
look for Sybil.
I mean, I could
Uh,
just draw you real quick.
I don't have the patience for that.
So, while you two start chaotically, well, mostly Damien chaotically stressing, and Christian just kind of being like, I'm looking, just give me a second. Chastity.
Mhm.
You wake up to a burning feeling in your chest. In fact, everything burns. You start to panic. Did you die? Are you in hell? You're dizzy and lightheaded as anxiety and pain floods you. You start to blink away the blurriness in your vision. You see Christian to the right of you, but also kind of in front of you. He looks like he finally has a little color to him and isn't as sickly and pale. It's different, but it makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the 7-foot tall humanoid lion sitting next to him. What do you do?
Chastity's gonna scream, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And she
Oh.
starts lurching herself back towards the door of where the van used to be, and she is kicking her feet at Christian and whatever the fuck that thing is next to him. Oh my god! Oh my god! Where are you? Get away! Get away! What is going on?
Make
What
a
does she look
dexterity
like?
check for me.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Can you make a dexterity check as you try and back yourself up against a non-existent door?
17.
So you start to
Nice.
like feel yourself flailing and reaching, and you realize that you're not in a van. There is no door. There is a little bit of a wooden like wall next to you, and you almost fall out of it, but you catch yourself.
So Chastity catches herself and she looks around, and I think she looks down at her arm where she's caught the side and sees that her skin is now a bright amaranth red. And she slowly turns back to the boys and she goes, "This is hell. We're in hell. We're in my father was right the whole time. I never should have come here. I never should have done this, and now we're hell and we're gonna burn forever. Oh my fucking god."
Relax. You're not in
Chastity.
hell.
That you in that?
Thanks. Oh no. If we're not in hell,
Holy,
Christian, explain.
holy shit.
I mean,
Gabby, would you like to describe what Chastity looks like?
Sure. So Chastity is now decently taller than before. She has amaranth red skin, as she is now a tiefling. She has completely black eyes with no pupils. And oh, puppy.
What's the dog doing?
And horns that point back along with the curve of her head. Her hair has turned to silver, and it is long and wavy and goes down to the middle of her back. She, like Damien, is also wearing significantly less clothing than before. She has on a seafoam green dress with no sleeves. It has a halter neckline and a very large keyhole in between her chest. and the skirt is much shorter than it used to be, and across the middle of the dress is a, I believe, brown corseted belt with ruffles on it. And as Chastity realizes she's been kicking and flailing, her skirt has now like hiked up her thighs. And in addition to everything that's been going on, she starts yanking down her dress and turning purple.
Damien whistles.
Oh,
Stop it! Don't look at me like that! What are we doing? What's going on?
I don't know what's going on, but there has to be a logical explanation for it.
Did my nose get longer? He's touching it like.
Yes, yes, it did.
Logical explanation. Christian, I'm red. Damien, I think, is a lion, and we are in hell. Please logically explain.
We're also in a fucking horse cart. Like, this van used to have horsepower, but not like 2 horsepower.
I don't
Then
think
why
there's
have
art
I
in
not
hell.
changed?
That was such a funny line.
Thank you.
The horsepower. I like that.
Alan.
I don't know. Maybe you were always this fucking weird, Christian. Who knows?
Alan.
Hi.
Hi. So, you were trying so hard to get some sleep, but a loud conversation shakes you from your rest. Oh, puppy? So sorry. Okay, a loud
That's
conversation
actually Damien.
It is, sorry. It shakes
Damien's got that
shakes-
dog in him.
He really does.
Oh god.
I'm done. I'll be
Sorry,
quiet.
I'm
I swear.
derailing.
So, you are trying so hard to get some sleep, but a loud conversation shakes you from your rest. You try to sit up, but your body hurts all over, especially your side. You manage to open your eyes, but you don't remember where you are. You thought you were in Damien's van, but this looks nothing like that. You look over, trying to find who's sitting next to you before you fell asleep and everything happened. Instead, you're faced with the dark red skin of a devil woman sitting next to you. What do you do?
Did I at least hear the voices enough to
You-
discern?
It sounded so it was kind of in that stage of like you were just waking up, so the voices like made its way into your dreams a little bit. So like you think you heard Christian and Damien, and then you heard a really loud scream and some fluster, and it seemed like that might have been Chastity.
So he looks and he sees this devil woman. And he doesn't move. And then he looks towards the front of the quote van.
And that's when you would see this humanoid lion man creature in Christian.
So he will just initially struggling to speak, but then he says, hello?
Oh, Alan, you're awake too.
Christian. Who?
Hey.
He looks back to looking between Damien and Chastity. What did you say? Wait, did you say something, Alex?
He just said hey and like gives a little wave.
And then I'm assuming he would recognize the voice.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Damien?
Yeah, looks like it, kiddo.
What?
Not the kiddo.
You look different.
Does it look sick, though? Like, you think I'll be happy with it?
Well, maybe. You're definitely bigger.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Alan.
And then, oh, yeah.
Oh, so, I'm so sorry to cut off. I was just gonna say, would you like to describe what you look like?
So I didn't really think much about his current appearance.
I do have a description if you would like me to take over, but please feel free to do your best.
If you probably have better than anything I could come up with, so please do.
Come on, it's your character. I believe in you. I'm just here to help.
So the first thing that you guys will notice if you're looking at him is that he is not white. His skin is more of a like dark gray now. And he seems like he's a little bit taller, definitely a little leaner. And his hair is no longer short. It is now longer. It's like almost like a dirty blonde, but kind of faded out blonde. And it's tied back into this like warrior style ponytail. And when his eyes fully open, that you'll notice that his eyes have changed to white.
You look pretty ashy there, buddy.
Ashy, what do you... And then as he says that, he looks down at his arms. And then he notices that his arms have changed color.
You reach up and you touch your ears as well, which have turned from the soft, rounded ears of a human to the pointy ears of characters you've read about in books.
And he...
Oh, and you're a nerd. Where are we?
He starts to like feel like his ears, and then he moves his hands over to his face, and and then he processes Damien's question, and he says, "Where are we?" And he looks around.
You are in a forest clearing. You're not in the van. It doesn't look like anywhere on Earth. At least not anywhere on Earth that you've been.
He like, as he's looking out, he responds and he says, "Well, a clearing of a forest won't really tell me much." And then
I don't know what I was hoping for, but anyways, where the fuck is Sybil?
Sybil.
Mm-hmm.
You watch as a foggy mist takes your friends away one by one. And the van also dissipates into a mist. And you are left standing in the middle of this forest clearing with this man standing before you. You think he might be an elf or some kind of fey creature, something you learned about in English class or something. He smiles at you, but it looks sullen and pitiful. Your hands are still intertwined, and you see this bright, colorful swirl start to creep up your fingers and your hand, all the way up to your elbow. It's time
Seeing
to
it.
wake up. Sorry? Go
I
ahead.
know, it's like seeing the swirling color, she would try to pull her hand away. But I would surmise he would have too much of a tight grip on it.
No, you pull away and he lets go.
Ooh.
He sighs. Well, it's time to wake up. Are you ready to go?
Yes and no. I still don't know who you are. And how, and she just points back to where the van was, you made that happen.
That'll take the fun out of it, wouldn't it? He takes one step closer. And he towers over you a bit. He puts his hand on the top of your head and swipes his thumb over your forehead and says, I'll see you soon, darling. You blink, and suddenly you're awake and in a new location. You slowly begin to register your surroundings. Your body is sore and stiff. The edge of a wooden plank digs into your armpit. You're staring down at a large wooden wheel on a grassy plain. You hear the sound of anxious bickering, which only worsens your headache. You look up, expecting to find your friends. But you find yourself sitting next to a man who looks like Christian. Yeah, yes, it's definitely Christian. Then you find this big, giant, furry lion sitting to the left of you. Behind you is another man with skin like a cloudy night sky and pointed ears like the Fey man from your, what was it, a dream? And then next to him is a woman with skin redder than wine and horns sharper than a sword that curl towards the back of her head. The only one that you recognize is Christian. The only thing that looks different about him is it looks like he got a tan. And in front of you are two stallion-sized horses.
She looks
So-
like at
Sorry, go ahead.
no, she's gonna look at like everybody, and then probably like look down at her own hands, see if they changed or not.
So you look down at your hands. And sorry I didn't end on a question. I was reading chat. You look down at your hands, and one hand has this almost like marbling kind of paint look to it. And when you twist and turn your hand, it looks like it's a bunch of different colors, kind of like you dipped it into this oily, iridescent paint. It's kind of like a rainbow that changes with the lighting. And on your hands, your fingernails are sharper. Not claws, but your nails do end in pointed tips. Creeping up your other arm is a spattering of shimmering scales. It's not your whole entire arm, and it's not all of your skin. And when you reach up to touch your face, you also feel patches of scales And then you reach and your nose is not there?
That's probably what she panics at most.
So, the rest of you, in between your conversations, I won't make you roll perception checks because Damon specifically asked where Sybil was. You see the figure that was in her seat start to stir. And then, does she scream? Does she exclamate something?
Yeah, she probably let out a little scream.
So, a little yelp. And Damien, you look over and you see that this snake-like woman
Oh.
is awake.
Sibs?
Like, my
Are you
nose is gone.
I was about to say that you look like you could use some lotion, but that's a pick.
He said you're ashy.
And you look like you can use a shave.
I knew
Yeah,
it.
probably. Kind of runs the claws through the chin. Shit, is this because that ink I got?
How is everyone feeling and reacting?
Disoriented.
Disoriented.
Chastity got
I'm
distracted
taking it in
with her clothes.
stride. Sorry, you first.
Chastity got distracted with her clothes because when she realizes when she pulls the skirt down, trying to cover more of her thighs, it pulls the keyhole on her chest open. So then she's been hauling the keyhole on her chest closed, which pulls the skirt up. And she's just been in this endless futile loop of trying to cover herself.
A little comedic moment. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, how do you feel?
Well, actually, I should have mentioned, or I should have asked about this before. But if Alan looks down at his side where you said he was feeling pain, does he got like something stabbing him?
Thankfully, no. But it just feels like you got hit really hard there. You kind of go to feel and like you lift up the top like your shirt and you do see like a bruise starting to form in your ribs on your right side.
Okay. So I think right now he's observing everyone's reactions and he's recognizing, at least through their voices, that they are who he was with. And once he has that kind of comfort knowing that he is in familiar company, he's gonna start turning his attention outside of the vehicle and to try to find some semblance of where they could be.
Okay. Would you I need you to roll a history check and a nature check and then DM those to me.
You got it, boss. It would have helped if I didn't close my character sheet by accident.
I'm so sorry, bestie. In
Yeah.
the meantime, while Alan is sending that to me,
Wait, nature
Sybil,
and what?
history.
Okay.
Nature and history. Sybil, would you like to give your description of what you look like?
Why, sure. Her height and like build is pretty much the same. So yeah, she's a Yuan-Ti pureblood, so literal snake person. So her skin kind of has like a greenish tint to it, and she's just like covered like head to toe in like patches of scales. They're mostly light green, but they do have some undertones of blue and yellow in them. Her hair is longer, It's also straight, like pin straight, instead of wavy like it was before. And it's like the curtain bangs are kind of like swept back. And protruding from her forehead are two small little short horns. Her eyes are definitely snake eyes with like the slits, and you see like kind of like small like fangs poking out from her mouth now. Oh yeah, like what Sydney said, her nose is like flattened, more snake-like with just like slits for nostrils. And that's like where like the prominent patch of like scales like shine. And yeah, all around her body and face are like body marblings of like multicolor shining through. Kind of like a snake trail, like all around her. And yeah.
Pretty.
Mhm.
Alan, I sent you your whisper. Do
Thank you,
with it
thank
what
you.
you will.
Noted.
So, after all of you have your little discussions and begin to assess your surroundings, I need each of you to roll a perception check.
Should I just tell you that I fail?
Here we go.
Oh my god, I actually did well. Finally.
Not the best, not the worst.
Oh, are we putting them
And
in
if
the chat here?
Yes, thank you.
You want them shouted at you?
Honestly, in
So
the
our
chat is
stream audience
perfect.
will know.
We,
Damien can see.
We put
Damien
it
can
in
see.
the correct order.
Damien can fucking see.
Lowest to highest.
There is a way that I kind of want to work out how to voice our roles. But I wanted to talk to Hunter off stream about maybe see if we can add a feature that like shows all of our roles visually. But I figured that would be an off stream conversation.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So, let's see. 10, 18, and 20. So, Alan and Damien, you notice a little bit more. The sheer depth of these woods, you cannot see past most of the trunks of these trees, let alone the sky. You see bits and pieces enough to know that it's daytime. But the two of you do hear faint cries, like someone struggling and calling for help. Anyone there? Hear
Yeah.
voices! Help,
Wahoo.
please! Hurts real bad! Help!
Do they sound far or like walkable?
With your 20, I would say they sound walkable, but it sounds distant, but it doesn't sound like very, very far. Would would you or both you and Alan want to look around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Alan would for sure.
Okay. Then I would need the two of you to make, or are you going to alert the rest of the party?
Well, Alan will probably say, as he's looking out, he says, I hear someone yelling.
Yeah. It's out there bitching real hard.
Rude.
And I'll go to the trunk, quote unquote, of the not van anymore.
Yeah, it's not much of a trunk as it is just the end of the carriage where everyone's things are.
I'll probably look for like what would have been a tire iron or something like that. Something to just grab.
So you find where your crutches used to be, and one of them turned into this really big hammer, and the other turned into a short sword.
Yeah, I'll pocket both those.
Uh,
Um, he probably actually has a sheath on that on his hip that he didn't know about until now, so he just thinks it in there, and takes that.
okay. Um, give it to the jerk, and he shall take. um, so you take both of the items, and what do you do next? And what does the rest
Heading
of the
up.
party do now that Alan has alerted you for that someone is asking for help?
I'll also go to the back of the carriage to where our stuff is
Same for
and,
Chastity.
and look through my art supplies to try and find what is more or less darts.
It's more or less darts. So, did you pack darts?
I packed probably my tattoo gun, and those
Okay.
have needles, so I assume that's
Those
right
would
around.
definitely have transformed into darts. And then Chastity, what are you looking for?
Chastity is primarily looking for the poetry book, where she tucked the picture and the pendulum.
So you find the poetry book rather easily, and your pendulum is hanging in there. And it actually feels a little different. Like you feel an energy coming from it. And
Well,
it
oops, sorry.
and it slowly, subtly, you think it starts to glow.
Chastity sees that, but she doesn't want to think about it right now, so she like pulls forward the belt that she's wearing and tucks the book with everything in it like up against her stomach where it's going to stay snug. And then she goes back into her bag one more time just to see if the perfume bottle happens to still be there.
Roll a investigation check.
Okay. An 8.
So you're like kind of panicked because not only do you look like a demon, from the Bible, but like you're like, oh my God, where's my shit? And eventually you do find your perfume where you left it.
So Chastity breathes a sigh of relief that it's there. And then she thinks about it for 2 seconds and she thinks that maybe carrying like a fragile perfume bottle is not a good idea. But she doesn't want to let it go. So she's never actually worn it before because if she had come out of the woods with it on, it would have been a dead giveaway that something was up. So for the first time, she actually like puts some of it on and then just puts it back somewhere safe in her bag.
Okay. Okay, interesting. All right, and then
Take-
back to Alan.
Give that hammer a few swings and start to head off in that direction.
Alan, since he was still in this carriage, he was probably watching everybody go to the back one by one where everyone's things were, and he sees Damien pull out weapons. He sees everybody pulling out things. So then he also will move to the back and see if there was anything in where his belongings were.
Tell me what you
Same.
think you would have packed.
A couple changes of clothes, food. He might have, if Jim gave him like a chess set from when he learned about the hobby and like would practice it there, he might have brought that with him for entertainment.
Got it. So, you open up the chest set because when you go to pick it up, it feels a little heavier than normal. And you see that the Black King and the White Queen have both turned into small daggers, and the hilts are the chess pieces.
Do they still look like the chess pieces?
The hilts of the daggers are like bigger versions of the chess pieces.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm glad you like it.
So, seeing that, he looks at them for a second strangely, like out of confusion, but then he'll stow them on his person and quietly, or like probably slowly, follow the rest of the group behind.
All right, got it. So I'm gonna need a group investigation check. Will all of you roll?
Ooh,
Hey, that's pretty good.
very nice.
I love the dice noises, bro.
Very average. I've
Chad,
got my
if you
dice
like
tower. I don't know if it picks up.
Chad, if you like the dice ASMR, there will be plenty more of it.
Now that we're finally in dice rolling territory.
Hey,
Hey,
Hunter.
let's go.
You also rolled the same die number. Oh, word?
Okay. So everyone but Chastity, I'm so sorry for your second 8. All of you start to see these various bushes that are covered in these thick, thorny vines. And again, you hear, please. And you find, as you come to one of these thorny bushes, is a small rabbit person.
Okay.
What would you like to... Ooh, go ahead. Sorry.
That is a bit strange. You okay there, little one?
No, I'm stuck. And you do see that one of the thorny vines is like going across its torso. Another one is wrapped around its leg. And if you pay close attention, you see that these vines are very slowly moving.
You late to be going somewhere, buddy.
Please help me out.
It's in it for us, though.
Like the way you think. I was about to ask the same thing.
Damien, cut them loose. We can bargain after. They're not
Fine.
getting away.
He'll take the short sword and do a few cuts to try and break them out.
Oh, that easily, huh? All right. Roll to hit.
I'm so big and strong. I totally didn't get a natural one right now.
Oh,
Oh no.
I think
did?
that's our first one, guys. I think that's our
Ooh.
first one.
let's go.
Anyway.
Okay. So you swing and you cut you miss the vine and you cut the rabbit's arm. Like close
Whoops.
to its paw.
Oh my god.
I didn't say attack him.
Carry Lion away from me.
Ugh.
Chastity hears this now and actually runs over to join the rest of the party because she didn't see shit in that bush.
Nope. But you're there now.
And she sees that the like cute little rabbit creature is bleeding and that Damien has a sword and she goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh.
I missed.
Mommy's
He
bad.
just shrugs.
I missed.
She goes, "Can someone with more finesse help this poor thing out of here?"
Yeah, Alan, you got pointy bits. Why don't you go nuts?
Alan silently comes up and he looks at the vines. And he will take one of the daggers and he will begin to carefully pick at them.
Roll with advantage and add your dexterity.
Or with advantage. Hell yeah. Oh, I needed it.
Must be nice. Anyway.
I got a 16 total.
Okay, thanks. So how much time do you want to spend cutting away at this?
Enough to get the rabbit person free.
Okay, so carefully you proceed to like start slicing away with the daggers. After about 5 to 10 minutes, which feels like an eternity for Damien, who's just too impatient, you finally see the rabbit start to like slip and it jumps out. Oh my goodness. And you see like these big watery tears start pulling up in their eyes. There's one stuck in my tail. I can't reach it.
Is there one stuck in its tail?
Yeah, there's like this little thorn stuck in its tail as it turns around to show you the little cotton ball butt.
Alan just like slowly points the dagger on the thorn and just click.
And that must have been the most action you've had ever.
He's so rude.
He's so mean, guys.
At least he knows how
Once-
to aim.
Once free, you guys are now looking at a white-furred rabbit folk who stands less than 3 feet tall. They're wearing a red blazer and a black bow tie. On top of their head sits a large jar full of shimmering blue liquid. Hi! I'm Teacup.
Well, hi there.
No fucking way.
Teacup. It's nice to meet
Yeah.
you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for saving me.
No problem. Could you tell us where we are?
Whew. You're in the Phaedra Forest. Haven't you heard of it before?
Kind of new in town.
Can you spell that, the forest name?
Yes. F A E D R A. Phaedra Forest. I hope you know how to spell forest.
Screaming and crying is so cute.
Screaming, crying, throwing up.
Screaming, crying, growing up.
Damien's just got this disdainful, disgusted face that is just like it's like he thinks he's on a prank show is almost what it looks like he's going through.
Teacup does approach you, Damien, and it is holding its arm where it got cut. And they say to you, "It's okay. I know it was an accident."
And it's probably like more of a growl from the throat, in which case Damien like surprises himself for a second to hear like a beast noise come from his mouth.
Don't be a coward, do the growl on stream.
I can't. I'm not that powerful. Yeah, actually, I did have a question for you, DM. With my new composition, and the fact I got fresh blood on that of a prey animal, does that do anything to me?
Do you want it to?
I'm asking you. I want to know what you think in this
Alex
world.
wants to eat a rabbit.
Where Leonin are weird, funny creatures.
Roll a constitution check.
Sure. I hope I get another one. I got a 9.
Somebody get the spray bottle.
So that low growl turns into you baring your teeth. And you do take a big whiff and you smell that irony scent of blood. And your eyes, you feel them narrow. You
That's
don't
good.
hear Christian's voice. You don't hear Alan's voice. And you take a step towards Teacup.
Can I hop in?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Chastity looks up at Damien and sees what's going on with him and sees him start to move towards Teacup, and she tries to like get in between them, and she looks straight at Damien and she yells in his face, "Back the fuck up!"
Chastity, as you yell, and Damien, take note. Your voice booms, and all of you instinctively, maybe except for Christian, but all of you instinctively go to cover your ears. You see birds fly away as the voice commands this entire space.
Ooh.
And Damien's mane gets blown back as Chastity yells.
Alan is going to grab Teacup to try to get them out of immediate danger.
What?
But he doesn't say anything. He just kind of pulls him, her, they, them, pulls them back, not saying anything, but just in a protective manner. And he watches Damien.
Does the shout knock me out of it?
It does.
Fuck, Chas, my
Your- and
head.
Your ears are ringing.
Chastity looks up at Damien and she like puts both hands over her mouth like, "Oh."
How did you do that, and can you teach me?
I don't know how I did that. I was just so mad because Damien was acting like an animal, and I don't know.
Well, he kind of looks like an animal.
Yeah, and he's gonna need to learn how to act human.
Finally removes the hands from his ears. Shit.
Sorry about your head, but do you feel better now?
Fine.
Okay, good.
Where'd you get those fucking pipes, girl? What the fuck?
I don't even know.
And if there's no cloth, he'll just like wipe the bloody short sword on the grass or something.
I imagine you like wipe it on the little like kilt short pants you're wearing.
Yeah. It's like a Roman soldier kind of thing. Like it's got the lever with the little metal hoops on the end, you know?
Yeah. So, with Teacup in Alan's arms and this giant jar sloshing above its head. Hoo-wee. Am I okay?
Do you feel okay?
Yeah. I think
Then you're okay.
so. Okay.
What's the liquid above your head?
Oh, no, I just picked it up. I have to bring it back to my master.
And who would that be?
He's my master.
Does your master have a name?
I think so, but I don't really know it.
would you mind if we tagged along?
More
Really?
important question: does your master have any food?
Yeah, he has lots of food.
All right, sick.
Follow up.
That'll be your payment for us, like saving your life or whatever.
Okay, it'll be a while till we get to him, though.
Well, we
Follow-up
gotta.
question, Teacup. Is your master nice?
Is he nice? Yeah, he's pretty nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I do errands and I do jobs, and then he gives me food, and then he gives me an allowance. And then I go to the market and I spend it.
Sounds like a good life, huh?
Yeah,
What do you spend it on?
all kinds of things. I got trinkets. I get it on food, and sometimes I get a hot chocolate when I'm feeling spicy.
Hot chocolate spicy to you?
No, when I'm feeling spicy, I get hot. When I'm feeling naughty, I get a hot chocolate.
I think
Like
you and I
you-
have very different definitions of naughty and spicy.
I continue to be screaming, crying, throwing up over here. I'm sorry.
You're okay.
Alan, I need you to make a dex check.
I'm about to get stabbed.
Yes.
Damn.
You'll never see my knife coming.
They'll never see it.
Deserves
That's a
universal basic income.
I got a 15.
15. So, just a little bit lower than it had to be. Teacup scurries out of your arms, like slips out of them, and like runs on over to the wagon and climbs into the driver's seat. Which you guys have noticed is big enough for two. The rabbit's feet dangle and swing as they look over to you guys with wide eyes expectantly. We go now? And
We go now.
You certainly could.
Teacup points to a small pathway up ahead. And then pats the seat next to them.
Alan looks back to the group and he says, might not be completely ideal, but it seems like this is the best way we got to get to some kind of civilization.
It works for me so long as Damien's not driving anymore.
I wouldn't suggest Damien goes up front after the stunt he tried to pull.
I can't drive.
Hey, listen, just because it looks fucking different, it's still my van. I'm driving, and if one of you don't like that, try to stop me. And he's gonna march over.
So as you start walking towards this cart, Teacup picks up the reins and goes, "Here!"
No!
I want to stop that little maggot from doing that.
Fireball!
So the horses slowly start to walk. What are you doing? What are you doing to stop them?
I think yeah, this would be awesome actually if I could put this to use. I think Damien makes his way over and he lets out a full-bodied roar, and I would love to use the daunting roar ability.
Sorry. Oh my god.
So
Okay, so can you please, I did not mean to snort like that. Can you please tell me how the daunting roar works? Please explain to the chat.
creatures within 10 feet need to make a wisdom saving throw or be frightened of me until my next turn.
Need to make a wisdom saving throw. So I'm going to say the horses auto fail.
Cool.
As for Teacup, let's see. Teacup rolled a nat 1.
Awesome. Teacup is terrified of me.
You're not making a good case for yourself, are you?
Doesn't matter.
Stop scaring him!
Teacup like jumps into doesn't even jump. He just scoots over.
Stop the horses. and he's gonna go get in the front seat. he does like the little like pretend bow and like spreads out his arms like that,
You're too close to me.
and he's just gonna growl.
Sybil, she gets in the passenger side and she just picks up Teacup and puts her on her lap. Further away from him.
Teacup like takes the jar off of its head and holds onto it, and then like tucks its head under your chin. You also notice like a really big indent in the fur from where the jar was sitting.
Hat hair.
She's gonna
Anyway,
scruff it up. She's gonna try to fix it, scruff it.
Oh, can you scratch? And then starts like
Thumping his leg.
yeah.
She's gonna continue scratching. She finds that funny.
That feels
all right,
good.
jump in or shut up. Let's go.
Yeah, jump in or shut up.
I have a Sydney
Teacup.
question.
Yes.
What does the like whole wagon cart situation look like?
So let me see if I can find one to just share with you guys. So pretty much, what you guys are looking at is kind of like a topless caravan. It has like the driver's seat, and then it has a little back wagon for you guys to be sitting in. I had a very long time ago, I had a very lovely idea that this was basically going to look like a little house. But I'm like, you know what? You guys are going to get there. You guys are going to upgrade to that. I'm going to start you off with the bare minimum. So you got your little carriage. Basically, you know, when you wake up in that open cutscene in Skyrim, that's the cart you're sitting in.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Exactly.
I mean,
So-
Alex
So-
missed his opportunity.
Yeah.
He could have said it.
Sorry, what, Gabby?
Sydney is so adorable
That's
that you
true.
think I know what that cart from Skyrim looks like.
Very true. So it's literally just like an open air wagon. And there's like little benches. So, kind of like a hayride.
Does it have a back? Like, or is it just like a pickup truck bed off the back?
What do you mean? Does it have well, it's
Is there like a fourth wall at the end, or if you like slid too far backwards, would you just be dumped out onto the dirt?
oh yes, there's a fourth wall.
Okay. And
Can
then
we
is
break the
the
fourth wall?
We're
Is
gonna
the
break it.
sorry, is the driver's seat like kind of like in front of that like box, or is it
Correct.
like part of it? It's in front of it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So it's like a separate driver's seat, and then it's the cart.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Woohoo. Okay. So, and then again, there are like the benches like around each side of the cart. So would you guys like to tell me how you're seated besides Damien and Sybil up front?
Owen will
I'll
probably stay in the back.
I'll go back to around the area I woke up.
Cassidy's gonna sit in a similar spot where she's like on the side bench on like the left hand side, but up against the front, kind of trying to keep an eye on the front seat.
Got it. Alrighty. As your group finds their place in this cart, again, just to re-describe, we have the driver's seat that is a little separate, then you have the wagon, and right at the very end of the wagon is where everyone's things would be. It's like a little separate compartment. It's not exactly a trunk. There's no and there's nothing concealing or protecting your things, but it is in its own like compartment on the wagon. You guys start to slowly trot away, and Damien, having the reins is a whole lot different than having an engine and a steering wheel, but you're making it work. And you make your way through this strange forest. You all
Have
can't
fun.
help but wonder what odd encounters you will face next. And I think right here is perfect for a break.
We
Bet.
I was gonna say there's a fun thing that Damien actually has land vehicles proficiency, so
nice.
There you go.
Damn.
Alrighty. So we'll take a break here and we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
it's awesome.
It's good.
Alright.
See you later.
We'll
See y'all shortly.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh man, I had to mute that. I almost heard my voice. Ugh. So can I have everybody roll a d20, add nothing, and then we'll go around the room and I'll have you tell me what you rolled.
Okie smoky.
All right, starting
right.
at the top.
Yep, Christian,
5.
Damien,
13.
Alan,
15.
Chastity,
5.
Sybil.
6.
All right, Alan was the highest roll. So once again, Alan.
Wait, what?
I want you.
Not another recap. We're only halfway through the session.
That's what I'm saying. I want you to what has happened so far, but tell me in character.
In character?
Like imagine Alan is like on the episode of The Office right now. Like he is like Alan was pulled out. He's being asked to break the fourth wall. He's in front of a camera. How is Alan going to describe like the last hour of
All
his
you
life?
had to
would be
say
Philby
was
Featherston.
pretend he's on The Office. And
You really just decided to torture Hunter today, specifically.
He's the one that's rolling.
It's fine.
Alan's been pulled aside for confessional.
Exactly.
Tell me your sins, my
Yes.
child.
Yes, you're being pulled aside for a confessional. So break the fourth wall in character. What has been going on?
It's also like if any of you've watched Big Brother,
Mm-hmm.
it's like that too. The diary room.
Well,
Because I saw
Island.
Diary Room and that's what I thought of.
Is it bad
You
that
and-
I thought of Total Drama Island?
Oh, that too.
Yes.
True.
It's
So
pretty
right.
The
The
similar.
outhouse.
The outhouse, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Miss Total
All right, I'll
Drama.
try.
Anyway.
So far, we found ourselves in this clearing, and all of us look a lot different. And we're all, well, most of us, I'd say, are confused. Not really sure what's happening. But we kind of grab our bearings. We hear someone yelling for help. And we went over to see what was happening, and we found this little rabbit person who said their name was Teacup. And almost having a rough encounter with it because of Damien's instincts. We decide that our best course of action right now is to go to wherever this teacup person is heading towards, and hoping that we get to some semblance of civilization and figure out where we are and what's happening.
I think this is how I'm going to do recaps from now on. I really liked that. Thank you, Alan.
You're welcome.
Even
little-
though you're welcome was
it
a
was-
character.
It was a little botched, but
No, I felt like that was very
good.
like Alan. It was good.
Oh, okay,
Thank
good.
you.
With peak Alan, if you will.
Yeah.
Peak.
It's peak Allen.
Like a little nervous, a little awkward, kind of confused.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry. Um, the cart drives down a well-worn road, just big enough for one wagon to pass through. The branches sway overhead as if they might reach out at any moment and grab one of you. You hear birds chirping up above. A few brightly colored butterflies dance in the area. Squirrels scurrying up trees to avoid the wheels on your wagon as they roll round and round. It's very much a typical forest, but not. And for Chastity, who spends a lot of times in the woods behind her home, there is definitely something that doesn't. Sorry, let me rephrase that. There's something that feels very otherworldly about this place. And it's not just because you look like a devil or your friend is a lion and your other friend is a snake. Your other friend is something.
And Christian.
And Christian.
And then there's Christian.
It's something about the air, something about the atmosphere. And you feel the pulse of your amethyst pendulum. It feels like it's calling for you.
So Chastity puts her hands kind of on her belt where she hit it, and she thinks about it for a second and whether or not she really wants to take it out, but she decides she's gonna reach in, take the string of the chain of the pendulum out of the book and pull it out, and she just kind of turns it over in her hands for a little bit.
And you do so. And as it catches the glint of the sun, I need you to roll a perception check.
Yikes on bikes. 2.
Okay. It captures the glint of the sun, and you're like, wow, this is so pretty. And it's also a little creepy. Why does it look different? And you just ponder your orb for a minute. Wow, I really thought you guys would have laughed at it. That okay. So
I did. I
you-
did. I just guess it didn't pick up, but okay.
so you so you kind of are just staring at your amethyst, lost in the moment. Christian, you are what I assume to be painting the scenery as you go by.
I'm probably sketching the new appearances of my travel compatriots.
Alrighty, make a perception check for me.
Okay. 15.
Perfect. So as you're drawing, you hear I don't know if that picked up.
It did not.
No.
It was just
You
silent.
hear
very
silence.
awkward.
You're nothing.
So awkward.
I'm too
Okay.
old. I can't hear that frequency.
All right, let me try that again. Try that again. You hear a it's not picking up.
It's even
Never mind.
funnier. The
It really is
Yeah.
silence.
Just give it to us straight and say that it's quiet.
Yeah, I'm just I'm just cut this part in the VOD.
No, it's staying in.
Dang.
No, it's staying it in.
Damn. Fucked up.
You hear little like clicks of the tongue, almost as if someone is like speaking in these clicks, and mouth noises.
Do I know which direction those noises are coming from?
It sounds like it's coming from up in the trees.
I'll take a look up at the trees, see if I notice anything.
You see silhouettes of these figures that are only a tad bigger than Teacup, like maybe a foot or foot and a half taller than Teacup. These they're rounded and they have like these oddly shaped limbs. Would you like to try and get anyone else's attention?
So, as I notice them, I put my head back down, continue sketching, and then say to Teacup, "So there seems to be things in the trees. Do you know if they are friendly, or are people after you,
People shouldn't be after me. And
or creatures?"
Teacup looks up in the trees, and you watch as Teacup puts their hands to their eyes like pretend binoculars. Uh oh.
Well,
Not friendly.
Sybil
Not
immediately.
friendly.
Or
hostile?
crush him.
Wait, hold on. A couple things happened. Sybil first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as soon as like Sybil like hears what Teacup's like saying, not friendly, she immediately like looks where they are looking.
Okay, got it. Make a perception check for me and Damien.
The question was bolt or crush them.
Crush them.
He pulls back the reins hard.
Would you also like to roll a perception check?
I would love to.
All right, Sybil, what'd you get?
13.
We're back to my ass is blind. 8.
Neither of you can quite make out what Teacup saw. Damn it. But now that everyone else is alerted, Alan and Chastity, could you also, if Chastity would like to try one more time,
Sure.
and if Alan could roll a perception check.
That's an unnatural 20 for me.
Sweet.
18 for Chastity.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you start to notice now that you see where Teacup is looking. It was hard because again, the trees are kind of blocking the sunlight, and these creatures kind of blend in. You see these brownish, greenish figures. One of them is even like this really dark blue hue, and they look like they're frogs. Teacup says, have you ever heard of these?
Can't say
The-
I have.
They're grung.
What the fuck are those?
Well, they're kind of, they're like frogs, frog people, and and these ones, they look like they might be hunters.
Well, they're about to be hunted. He's gonna stand up on the bench, dig the claws into the wood a bit. Come on down. Show your faces.
Yeah, can I slink down and attempt to hide in the cart? Or would it be pointless?
No, it would not be, but it would be at disadvantage.
I'll try it anyway. So my lowest roll was a 19.
Okay. So you can easily, so as the cart is stopped, you slink down and you hide underneath successfully. You don't think you were seen.
And like as he like
Um,
slinks down, he like reaches his hands towards the chess piece daggers.
All right. So you arm yourself and you get ready. Damien,
Hmm.
what are you doing?
He's just got that big hammer in his two hands, and he's kind of like spinning it around, you know. He's just keeping an eye on the tree line, waiting for the first thing to drop, and he's gonna hit it as soon as it lands.
Okay. So, eh. You watch as these grung get the first round while you see one draw back a bow. Can each of you start rolling for initiative? Put it in the
Wahoo!
chat, then we'll go around the room.
This is fitting, I think.
Uh, hmm.
I'm just
Okay. One, two.
continuing drawing, apparently.
So, starting at. Sorry, hold on. Starting at Christian, would you roll?
2 total.
Damien,
14.
Alan,
9.
Chastity,
19.
nice, Sybil.
12.
Okay. Alrighty. So, that being said, Chastity, you go first.
Where are these enemies?
They are up in the tree branches. And there are 3.
3. Chastity's gonna see one of them and kind of get scared and freak out, and she doesn't really know what to do, but she kind of holds up the pendulum she had in her hand. And without really knowing what she's doing, she's going to cast Firebolt.
Okay. So, remind me, Firebolt, is that a roll to hit?
I think so. It's a ranged spell, 120 feet.
Okay. Give me a second. I am writing things down.
Dead Frog 1, Dead Frog 2.
No, pretty much that's exactly what I'm writing. Okay.
Sid, did you need
Okay.
me to roll?
No, yes, I had to write down the initiative order. Okay, so if you could please roll for damage.
Just damage?
It'd be rolled a hit first.
Yes. That is what I thought she did.
No,
So
I
yes,
didn't roll
please
because I was
roll.
waiting.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
please roll the hit, and then I'll let you know.
Okay, so the roll on the attack, it's a 10.
Okay.
Did you add your modifier?
I think so. I rolled a
So-
3.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So you holding your amethyst pendulum, you just kind of reach your hand out, and you're like kind of trying to like distance yourself, and you feel the heat begin to build up in your hand as a bolt of fire shoots out of it. It just barely misses the grung.
Okay.
Damien, you're up.
So they're still up in the trees, so they're not like in reach, right?
They are about, yeah, they're a little too far away.
Okay. I think in this case that anticipation starts to build in his bloodstream. Just the idea that it's like, oh, a fight's about to happen. Finally, some action. And he probably says that last bit out loud. And I would like to rage.
Okay.
He's
Ready?
raging.
He's but in this case it's not really an angry thing. He looks like he's thrilled right now. Kid in a theme park style. And I would like to see if I can make a jump to get up to one of these bastards and whack-a-mole it with the maul.
Okay, roll a dexterity, and then I'll let you know if you can roll to hit.
If I'm just trying to really put myself up there, could I barter for athletics?
Please, yes. Go ahead.
Lovely. And because I'm raging, I get advantage on that bad boy. I rolled a 17 and an 18, so total becomes 23.
All right, roll to hit.
Smack him. Finally, something good. Natural 20.
Nice.
Damn. Okay.
Hey. Okay.
This
First,
guy comes out swinging.
and it's the first nat 20 of the game too, right?
I had the first nat 1 and the first nat 20?
Did someone else? No,
Original.
Gabby got the first nat 20, I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Okay, so Sydney, how do you do your crits? Do you do it where it's just like I roll like instead of 2d6 4d6, or do you want me to
Roll the
roll
2d6
what I got
and
and
double
double it? Double.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's gonna be, so it's 7, 14 plus free, 17 plus the rage damage, 19 on that attack.
So, you watch as one of the grung. Yep, how do you want to do this?
I think he leaps up, he's taking this hammer two-handed overhead and just smashes it on top of this guy. I think it goes like into the grung, down through, breaks the branch, and just like he takes that. And if possible, I'd love to just have him jut his claws into one of the trees to try and hang there.
Okay. So, you smash this grung into oblivion. It falls with a splat to the forest floor below. And you, just in time with your athletics check, dig your claws, dragging them down the trunk a little bit, and you perch your foot up as you hang from this tree trunk, this goopy, slimy, blood-like substance dripping from the head of your hammer.
And he's just got the biggest toothy smile.
Sybil, you're up.
Well, after that impressive display, she's kind of gonna like shield Teacup, like shove them down so they're out of range from the grunge because she thinks the grunge are after the teacup. And to put it blankly, she's gonna Eldritch Blast one of them. At least try to.
Okay. So you watch as that marbling color on your arm starts to pull away until your fingertips are just inky blackness. And you just how do you imagine yourself casting this spell that you don't know?
I feel like she just has like an instinctual guide, like in the back of her mind. Like she can't quite place it.
So, in your head, you hear a familiar voice.
Yeah.
You hear, now, you're going to want to hold up your hand and just aim. I got you, baby girl.
She's gonna blush at that.
So,
Um,
you roll the hit.
a 19.
Okay. Roll for damage.
So, out of character wise, I know the spell. It says like it's like a crackling beam of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I kind of flavor it so it looks like it resembles like a snake?
Absolutely. So, your Eldritch Blast comes out. And at first, it does look a little crackly. You see this like bright, like glowing green, so light it's almost white energy. And then the crackles start to form as it makes its way out of your fingertips into these 3 snakes that join together as one. And the energy of these magical crackling fangs grips down onto one of the grung.
I got a 10.
For damage,
Yeah.
the second grung is looking very hurt, but is hanging on. He gets blasted against the trunk of the tree, and you hear him screech. I don't know if the weird noise I made came up on my mic.
It did.
Kind of cut out.
Kind of.
Very gently.
I don't know what's going on with my mic. Usually my headphones are like really solid. Anyway, it makes a screeching noise. But holds strong.
Sybil, she kind of looks shocked at herself, like, that just happened, and I just did that. But she's gonna roll with it.
Next up is going to be that grung that got hurt. It is going to rip out this dagger and lunge to knows that it's dying and lunges towards the creature that murdered its friend. This grung is going to attack you, Damien.
Go for it.
Will a 14 hit?
It does not. I have an armor class of 16.
Okay. So you watch as he just jumps down. And you hanging on the tree, he just falls and misses you. Did you
I
catch
think
that?
I think he just laughs. I think he just fucking laughs at that.
Okay. Alan, it's your turn.
Okay, so how many grung are there that we
There
know
are
of?
now 2.
And the third one is still in the trees, I'm guessing. Hasn't come down yet.
No, the third one died.
So where's the other 2 that are living?
One is still in the tree, and one just jumped down and splatted on the floor.
Does he take fall damage?
No.
Hmm.
All right. So then the one that's still in the tree, Alan's going to, in his hiding spot, ready one of the daggers in his hand, and then he's gonna quickly pop up and actually throw the dagger towards the grung in the tree.
Sorry. I had to cough. Roll to hit.
Does not hit.
What'd you roll?
And that one.
It's okay.
Yeah, hiding.
Yeah. When you're hiding, you get advantage due to sneak.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, that's right.
Don't worry, I remembered.
Oh, that's a lot better. That's a 23.
There you go. So, so you fling the dagger and it goes flying. And it hits its target right in the shoulder, making him drop his bow. Roll for damage.
Ooh, max damage on the dagger. So that's 8 from the dagger. I'm assuming sneak attack is applied here. Because I rolled at advantage. Oh my god, I got maximum damage. So that's...
yeah.
Woo!
Wait, what is it? 14 points of damage total.
So, the grung drops his bow, and the dagger goes through its shoulder, like pretty much clean through, getting stuck at the hilt. And the grung starts to sway back and forth as it loses its grip and falls from the tree. Dead.
Let's go.
It is now Christian's turn.
Okay.
There's one grung left. Looking
So,
really hurt.
throughout all this, I was just continuing to sketch. And then I go, fine. Lift my right hand to where my Tesseract tattoo on the back of my right hand is, and it starts glowing a bit. And I just whisper into it where only the little frog person can hear it. You disgust me. You should just join your friends and die. And I cast what's it called? Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
Make a
Is that a
wisdom
wisdom
save.
thing? Yep. Cool. 7.
Yep, that fails.
What a anime line.
And that is 10 points of psychic damage.
So, you watch. Do you even look at the grung?
No.
So, All of you guys watch as Christian lifts his hand. Looks like he mutters something, but you can't hear anything. And the grung starts to shake. And he collapses. Lifeless. As of right now, the battle has ended. 3 lifeless frog bodies scatter the forest floor around you guys. Damien, you hop down from the tree, adrenaline coursing through you. That it's just starting to kick in that when you landed, you don't feel that pain that you're so used to being there in the background.
When he lands, he first looks around like he's looking for something else to hit, like if there's just any more of them out there. And then eventually that rage drops with not being hit or taking an attack. Game rules. But after it, he's still smiling. He kind of gives a kick to his left leg, fully extends the knee, does a full range of movement. No way, no fucking way! Oh, yes!
Alan.
Hi.
You go to retrieve your dagger.
Mm-hmm.
You pull it out. And the grung is just like gargling, like dead, but like the blood is like bubbling up in its throat. Would you wish to do anything?
Um. Oh no, I think he just grabs the dagger out. And he like looks at the other the other bodies and just kind of he says, "Well, I guess that could have gone a lot worse. I'm not sure about better."
Chastity. You're kind of staring at your hand. And then you look over at Sybil, who also had something shoot out of her hand. And then you look over at Christian, who barely moved from his spot. And nothing came out of his hand per se. But he merely pointed at that creature and it died. How are you feeling?
So Chastity gets a little freaked out and a little anxious. And she looks up at Sybil and Christian and addresses them and she goes, "Magic. We can do magic. Sybil, Christian, did you know?"
No.
No. I thought I'd test it out after I saw you two shoot stuff out of your hands. Sadly, nothing came out of mine.
Yeah, but whatever you did, it worked.
Indeed, but that also could be because Sybil did quite the number on him first.
Sybil, what even did you do?
I don't know. I just heard a voice in my head that told me what to do, and I did that, and that's what happened. She points to that frog.
This is crazy. This is unreal.
Sybil, you hear the voice again, and it says, "That was all you. I just helped you along."
She looks like wildly around her surroundings, like, hello?
No response.
Does Chastity notice her, like, talking to someone that's not there?
You see her like whip her head around and say hello, but you're not sure why.
So Chastity's gonna ask Sybil and say, "What are you looking at? Who are you talking to?"
Sybil just like throws her hands, like, whatever, I'm done with this.
How can we be done with this? This is crazy. Where even are we?
You're in the Phaedra Forest. I said that.
Yes, thank you, Teacup. But could you tell us a little bit more about where this forest is? Like country, region,
Ooh,
planet?
what planet? Well, wait, hold on. Country first. Hmm. I think the main, well, kind of complicated right now. My master says it's something called politics.
Oh,
I'm well versed in that.
Really?
Yes.
Well, right now, there's like the main city, kind of. That's where I'm from, and it's like the main part of the kingdom, and that place is called Rovinia Capital.
Can you spell that?
Yes, R
All right.
O V I N is in Nancy I A. All right. So the main place is Ravinia Capital. That's where I'm from. But the planet. Okay, I did this in my last lesson. It's called Esmir. Esmir. Yeah. And that would be spelled E H S.
EH. Okay.
Yeah, EHS. M as in Mary. ERE.
Could you put that in our chat, please, good DM?
Yeah.
I thought
Thank
it was an
you.
EZ.
I had it mostly, just not the H.
Hmm.
Chastity's kind of going to like sit back in the wagon and like deflate. And it sort of dawns on her and she like mutters under her breath, like, "Oh my God. Oh my, we're not even on Earth anymore."
What's Earth? I mean, this is Earth, and like Teacup points at like a patch of dirt.
No, Teacup. Earth is where we're from and where our lives are and where our families are and we don't know how we got here.
Oh, maybe a portal.
I was thinking a wormhole.
What's a wormhole?
Uh, It's a very scientific name for a portal, I guess.
Oh,
But it stretches throughout the galaxy.
interesting. What's a galaxy?
We're gonna be here forever.
It's,
Yeah.
it's not important.
Okay.
It's what he deserves. Anyway.
So Cassie's gonna hop back in and address Christian about the whole wormhole thing. Christian, a wormhole in our small hometown? Do you really think nobody would have noticed something happening like that before?
Yeah, like the FBI.
What?
No, you know what the FBI is. Not this wormhole.
What happened?
Yes, but I'm not saying it's been there. All I'm saying is, on the very, very off chance, the wormhole opened right as we were about to crash.
Sounds like you know this would happen.
I knew that. Are you saying that I knew Damien would drink and drive and crash us into a car?
I know what I saw, Christian.
Okay.
Fun thing, I don't think Damien is here right now. I think with that coursing energy, he just tore off into the woods and he's laughing like a madman.
Speaking of which, where did that man go?
Can I, if he did run off, can I follow him?
I'm
Well,
gonna need you to roll a perception check to see if you noticed.
if I noticed.
Yeah.
23.
You absolutely can follow him. He looks like he's on drugs.
I will do so.
He is laughing, he's running, he's going faster and faster and faster. He jumps onto one of the trees and just scrambles up it and then comes back down, hitting hard onto his feet, and he's overjoyed. This is probably like the happiest you've ever seen Damien ever. And he's just like, I'm not broken anymore. I'm not broken anymore.
Ah.
Sid, does Chastity notice Alan run off after Damien?
I think you would have been too busy kind of freaking about the Esmir thing because all of this happened at the same exact time as your conversation with Sybil and Christian and Teacup.
Okay.
I think the question then becomes, does Damien notice Alan there?
Well,
No, you're too giddy.
I was gonna say, even if you did, he's not necessarily trying to be sneaky about it. He's just following you.
But as soon as Christian says, "Where is that guy?" You guys do kind of look around and notice that both of them are gone.
Can Chastity use thaumaturgy to yell out their names really loud?
Sure. So tell me how you try and summon that back after it shocked you the first time.
So knowing that it's possible and like looking down at the pendulum, feeling that it must have something to do with it, she like pulls it in really close to her chest, closes her eyes, really concentrates, and then takes a very big deep breath and shouts at the top of her lungs, Damien! Alan! Where are you?
So it does work, and you watch as the branches and the leaves start to shake, and you actually see some of the branches that were creeping up towards you guys start to shrink back. And Damien and Alan definitely you hear it. Damien, you hear shouting. Whether you choose to acknowledge it is up to you.
little lion ears perk up a bit.
Yeah.
He's panting after doing that full stunt. Turns around, notices Alan is there.
Are you
Hmm.
doing okay there?
I'm doing. I think this has got to be some sort of dream or something. And if it's a dream, I do not want to wake up.
If it is a dream, then it feels very real, and we'd also have to be sharing in it.
Or just you're a figment of my imagination.
Then you would be a figment of mine, and we'd be in some kind of problem. It feels a little too real.
No reason to tuck yourself out over it. Just, live in the moment. Have a good time. Passes by, puts a hand on Alan's shoulder, and I imagine it's just bloody from the strike of that maul. So it's just like leaves a bloody print on him.
Oh yeah. It's gross.
He like Alan looks at his shoulder and sees like the blood's. He's kind of like, ugh. And then he turns and walks with Damien, and he says, We can live a little, but I still want to know where we are and what's going on. Aren't you at least curious or confused?
It makes me think about something else. And he's gonna take one hand and he's gonna put it on the front of. He's gonna grip Alan's shirt, pull him up just a little bit to get a closer look in the eye.
What do you
That there, you're not gonna tell any of them that.
Ooh.
All right.
Wait, did you kiss him?
No,
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
we like brought him in. I'm like, what are you doing here?
he
I
brought
was
him
like,
in to
I was like,
frighten
kiss,
him.
kiss, kiss.
I was like, what?
He's basically saying what you saw with his little outbursts. He does not want you to tell the rest of them. And I'm willing to roll on that if you want me to.
Roll what? To
An
convince.
intimidation check.
You don't have to convince him. He.
But wouldn't it be fun just to see
Go-
the dice
I
happen?
mean, go ahead if you want to see the dice. Go for it. I'm not going to contest it.
Okay. 19.
Yep. You're intimidated.
He puts his hands up and he says, I won't say anything about it. I swear.
Good. Drops you.
You guys trudge your way back. Yes, now kiss. So you guys
No.
trudge your way back to the cart. The rest of you who are already there, you do see their figures come out of the woods. Teacup is sitting, in the corner of the cart, clutching their jar against their tiny chest. Takes a deep sigh. Oh my goodness, is everyone okay?
I think the more important question is, why were they after you?
They weren't after me, but it was really scary.
So this is a magical forest where we just have random frogs come and attack us?
I mean, there's all kinds of dangers in the Phaedra forest. And they looked like they were hunters.
A lot of good that did them. I want to poke around, see if there's anything on their bodies to pick up.
Yeah, would I be able to join him on that?
Sure. Both of you want to roll investigation checks?
Sure.
Ooh, could it be perception? Not that I'm any better at that, but you know.
Sure.
Thank you, but 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I low roll.
I want to keep seeing cases where Damien is blind.
Damien confirmed needs goddamn glasses at this point.
Christian also rolled pretty low.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. So both of you just find like animal bones. Looks like they were like picked clean. Some of them might have like little tufts of fur or like a bit of rotting meat on them.
Could I grab their bow? One of their bows that they were using.
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
What do you
Sybil?
go
Sorry.
ahead?
Oh no, so I was like, can Sybil poke around and do an investigation on him?
Absolutely. Roll an investigation.
Ooh, a natural 19 plus
Nice.
5.
Nice. Okay. So, you also find animal bones.
Well, nothing making me here.
You find animal
Um,
bones and know they're specifically from a wolf.
yeah, exactly. So you do notice, like bones are like, oh yeah, this looks like this could be a squirrel. You find like a small skull that looks like it's from a bird. Um, you do have, uh, let's see. They don't have any money on them. Um, they don't really even have like clothes or pockets to like hold things. You do see one of them has like this dagger that was made out of a bone and like a rock, a sharpened rock. And then one of them has like a crinkled, rolled up piece of paper. Did you want to take a look at that?
Yeah, sure.
So you unroll it and you do see like a painting of the 3 of those frogs, and it's a wanted poster.
Ooh, is there a reward on it?
There is a reward for 50 gold for their capture or death.
She's gonna show the paper to the rest of the group, and then she's gonna start thinking about how they're gonna prove the deaths to get the reward.
We should probably take the corpses.
I mean, it seems like a lot of work. Why don't you just, flicks up the short sword, grabs the noggin of one, and just starts hacking away.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
I mean, feel free.
Way
I'm not
for
gonna do
asking
something
us.
so barbaric.
Come on, don't act like this really matters, Christian.
Oh, I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying I wouldn't. So you can go ahead.
Chastity stiffens up and turns her head the other way, and she clutches at her neck as if clutching for her pearls that are no longer there.
And yeah, he'll go on to decapitate the other 2.
Okay.
I'll just climb into the
So,
wagon.
yeah.
He climbed. He like the
So,
whole thing is happening. He just got him. He climbed into the wagon. He put himself back in the spot where he was sitting before.
We got a sack or something in there?
Sybil's gonna
technically,
check.
yeah, technically your guys' bags.
Oh
All of
yeah,
your bags are there.
I can clean out my art supplies.
It shouldn't be a bag that you want to reuse, I'd say that.
That's fine.
You know, we could have just taken like a finger or something.
I don't
Fun in
think
that.
I think it would be harder to prove if it was just a finger.
empty. Christian's thinking with his head, and kind of like he flops one of the grung heads up and down a little bit so the mouth moves.
Oh, gross.
Yeah,
But it'll be
so
less messy.
I'll empty that bag and hand it.
Awesome. Bag of frog heads.
Yeah, I'll write
Okay.
that in my description or in my notes.
My
All
favorite
reading
magic
notes.
totem.
Bag of frog heads.
Okay.
Of wanted frog heads.
Yeah.
Wanted
So-
frog heads. Someone wanted these people.
All right. You guys added the grung heads to your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you guys clamber back into the cart. Damien, do you take the reins again?
Hell yeah.
Okay. So, Teacup directs you onwards through the forest pathways. A couple of hours go by, and eventually the road widens, and it's easier to ride through. More sunlight starts to pour down through the trees. And this area is not necessarily a clearing or a camping point, but it is much more open than it had been previously. For traveling purposes, is there any downtime conversation that you guys would like to have amongst each other?
I don't know if the three of them want to catch up Damien and Alan on their theories.
Oh yeah. I think Alan might have some decent input on my wormhole theory. What do you think?
Is that how you described us being here as? A
I can't
wormhole?
really think of any other way.
I mean, it could have been, but I don't know. It seems like it just happened so suddenly. And, the last thing that we really saw was almost getting into a car crash.
Yeah, I remember the same thing. Except I don't feel like we're dead.
Because we're not. We're dreaming or something. Don't worry about it.
You're not dreaming, and you're not dead.
I feel like it feels too real to be a dream. And if all of us are sharing the same dream, then that makes this even stranger. Has to be something else, I think.
I'm with Alan. I think he's right.
Yeah. Alan's right.
Listen, say whatever you want. You're all gonna look really stupid when I wake up from this.
Could be
But-
magic.
You are awake.
You said magic, Sybil?
Mm-hmm.
Like the kinds of magic that exists in storybooks and fairy tales?
Yep.
So what, you think our bodies were devoid of magic prior, but somehow this world supplies us with magic energy?
Well, okay. I do have one confession to make. I think wherever we came from may not have been entirely devoid of magic.
What do you
You got
mean?
some like
What do you mean by that?
you got some like Disney kind of thing going on, like the magic of friendship kind of thing, like.
No, you big oaf. I know you don't think this is real, but this is serious, especially if we're going to be in danger. When I was a kid, I I wasn't even sure if this was really real, but out one night in the woods behind my house, I saw these little creatures that looked like they were made of light. And I remembered following them deeper and deeper into the woods until we got to a clearing, and then they swirled everywhere and they floated through me. And at the time, I didn't think that they were malicious or harmful in any way, but then just as soon as they came around, they disappeared, and I never told anybody. And I'm not even sure if it was real, but I know that I saw it.
You didn't. Did it feel like you were in some kind of dream or vision or something of the like?
I was little, so it's possible I'm not remembering it right, but I know that after they left, I went right back home and had dinner and had a normal night, so it's not like I'm missing gaps in my memory.
And
It
you
just
never
didn't stick
told.
Maybe
out.
You never
maybe
told.
it just got into the preacher's special sugar or something like that.
I was 5, you oaf.
Oh.
Well,
And
listen, when you find out whatever you were on when you were 5, give me some. Sounds awesome.
I think you've had enough.
and you never told
Never.
anyone about what you saw. You're from then on.
Helen, think about my parents. You think I'm going to tell Reverend Wilson that I saw magic little floating spirits out in the forest behind his house? I would have been exorcised, exiled, who knows?
Put in a big.
Kids do have some vivid imagination sometimes. Does your father not believe in those things?
Imagination does not exist in the Wilson household.
Angel dust might, though.
Damien, say one more thing, and I will turn the fire hand back on.
I'd be happy to
Damien?
turn on what was going on with me before if you want to really give it a shot.
If you do that, you might hurt your van.
Drive the cart, Damien.
It's not a van. What's a van?
A van is what I'm going to throw you in and then push it into a damn river.
Can someone shut him up, please?
It's
I like rivers.
it's what at least what this thing used to be before what it is now.
Well, it's a wagon.
Currently, yeah.
Hmm. Cool.
But now I'm starting to really wonder. Wormhole, magic, dream.
I think it's weird that worms have holes.
You've got holes.
Damien!
What? We all got fucking holes. Come on.
Yeah, put cheese in this one. Points at their mouth.
Yeah, sure.
About how long will it be, do you think, before we get to your master?
Probably a couple weeks.
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 Also, what's the concept of money here?
Coins.
Like, what's the conversion?
Well, we have copper coins and silver coins and gold coins. And there's it starts to count on their fingers. There's 10 silver pieces and 1 gold piece, and 100 copper pieces and 1 gold piece, I think.
I think it's in 1 silver.
And yeah, whatever you say, I'm not good at math.
So they
Real
use
question: if we're going for weeks at a time, do we even have the food for that?
Well, there's other towns before that. We're probably gonna hit Barra's Hamlet by the end of the day.
Oh, goody.
You'll like Barra's Hamlet.
What's it like
Wait,
there?
very important question here. The Teacup, this might be the most important thing I'm going to ask you all damn day.
It's about alcohol.
Do they have beer here?
So Barra's Hamlet is a small little town. It's really cute.
Uh-huh.
You know, their main guy, his name's Captain Barra. You know,
Sure.
he's like the guard of the place. He's
Uh-huh.
only looking at chastity, by the way. And it literally just takes up one road. There's maybe like 10 houses.
Did not answer a single question.
Teacup, beer, does it exist?
In Barra's Hamlet?
In this place, this weird thing that some people insist on being real.
I mean, eventually, I'm sure we'll find some.
Thank God.
But
Finally.
it'll probably be like a week or so until we get to a city big enough.
Chastity turns to Sybil and she goes, "If he's drinking, you're driving."
Who's to
She'll
say
be
I'm not gonna be
drinking
drinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I trust you more, even drunk.
Need me to bust out the
Aw.
cigars?
Flattered.
You got cigars?
Yeah, you
Of
got
course.
cigars.
Oh shit, do I still have my smokes? And he's gonna look around his stuff while
Same with
driving.
Sybil.
I mean,
You
I feel
both-
like it's a good celebration.
You both look around for your cigarettes to find that they are not there.
No. Please tell me I have at least the backup 40. And he's like destroying his bag.
Teacup doesn't know what a cigarette is.
Chastity mutters under her breath. She's like, "Oh, just one win today. Thank you."
Surely there's magic for you.
Did any of Damien's alcohol come to this verse with him?
Your flask is there, but it's empty. You drank it all.
2 wins today.
I take it back, there is no God.
There, of course, there's a god.
Alan's still like
There's a lot
looks
of
like he's still pondering all this stuff. Eventually he says you know, the talk about the coins and stuff that they use as money here, it almost sounds like we're in some kind of medieval time.
I don't know what medieval is, but there are multiple gods.
What kind of gods?
All kinds.
Well, that's gonna be blasphemous in our world.
I'm gonna have to. It's not too blasphemous. We learn about different cultures having their own gods. It's not too surprising. People here have their own gods. I am curious to find a library in this place to learn about the new culture.
You're probably gonna find a lot of that in Loreheart City.
How far is that from the village, Teacup?
From the village, about a day or two.
Great. So we can go there instead?
Yeah, I mean, I still have to get to my master eventually.
Yeah, where even is this guy? Like, if he's
My
not in
master.
the town and he's not in the city.
No, he's in the city.
Then why does it take weeks to get you there?
Well, because it's the capital city, and that's farther away.
So Lore Heart or whatever the hell, is not the capital.
No,
Okay.
Rovinia.
Uh-huh.
That's the capital.
That totally real place that exists.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I live there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Chastity thinks about Barrow, where we're heading, for a second, and then she looks around and she goes, "Well, you guys looked for your cigarettes and your booze, but do we have any money?"
Can Sybil like kind of like scrounge around her pocket, see if she has any money?
Do I have any money?
So you guys reach into your pockets, or look into your pouches. You do not.
Damn.
Good
I'm
thing
gonna
we
erase
can.
that from my character sheet then.
Has
Good
anyone
thing we
looked through
can
the
turn
bag
it
yet?
in.
Has anyone looked
What?
through the bag yet?
Yeah, did we check in there too?
I'll check around.
Dry.
No money.
Not yet.
Do we at least have food?
Yes.
Okay. Something.
The snacks that you guys packed turned into like little road rations.
This sucks. Anyway. You said this town's what, a day or two out?
I know, we'll be there by the end of the day if we keep going at this speed.
Awesome. And then he cracks the reins to make him go faster.
Teacup like tumbles back and falls from the driver's seat into the back of the cart. Oof.
Chastity feels bad for Teacup, so she scoops him up and puts him on her lap instead.
Yay. You're soft and warm.
Thanks, Teacup. So Chastity starts thinking about the lack of money, and she says out to her comrades there, "Well, we're supposed to get, what, 50 gold for turning in the frogs?"
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money.
10 apiece.
And Teacup, about how much would it cost for the 5 of us to be able to stay the night when we get to Bara?
In Bar's Hamlet? Probably nothing.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Well, they don't get a lot of visitors. So, they don't really have an inn. It's more of like a bed and breakfast. And when I stayed there, I didn't have to pay.
Did they know
like-
you were there?
Hommies or something?
Yeah, of course they knew I was there. I mean, like, come on, nothing's visible. Silly.
Who runs the bed and breakfast?
Runs the bed and breakfast? Well, I only really know Captain Bara. But I think her name was Melly. Yeah, Melly.
And Melly let you stay for free.
Yes.
All right, so we're just gonna have to hope this Melly shows
Is
us the
Teacup
same goodwill.
lying? I am now questioning Teacup.
Do it, Alan.
Can
Do
I
it, Alan. I believe in you.
can I check for lying for a lying rabbit folk?
Roll a insight check.
Yes,
I'm gonna kill that
detector.
rabbit.
19.
19. So, Teacup might seem a little confused, but it seems like they're being very genuine. So yeah, you think they're telling the truth. You're still skeptical. I'm not gonna erase the fact that you are still skeptical. But it doesn't seem like they're lying.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, a few hours pass. Of riding through the trees, and eventually the road gives way to what looks like a small hamlet. And the entirety of this town seems to take up a single road. So Teacup was at least not lying when they said this was a very small place. There is a little hand-painted sign that says "Welcome to Bar's Hamlet." You see a small, like, makeshift guard sentry station. And you see, like, these houses that are lined up, and you see some of these businesses and, like, these, again, hand-painted, hand-carved signs hanging from these businesses. And in a rocking chair that is propped up by this guard station, you see this big fuzzy creature with his arms crossed and a hat down covering his eyes and snoring away in
Is
this
there
rocking chair.
is there like a gate that he needs to open or anything, or can we just freely roll into the hamlet?
You can just roll in, no gate.
Yeah. Don't bother
So,
him. Why not?
as the horses trot up and the wheels roll into town, you guys are just passing him. You hear a excuse me. It's
Oh,
not
hello, Sleeping
polite.
Beauty.
Uh, hello.
Hmm.
It's
So slow up the horses.
it's not polite to not say hello.
But I just did.
Hi.
And then he takes a squint at your cart. What are you guys doing coming out of the Phaedra Forest?
Sightseeing.
Honey hunting.
Hey, you look familiar. Teacup, you all right? Hi, Captain Bara. I'm good.
That's the captain.
Yeah, that's Captain Bara. He's a capybara person.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
Wait, did
Sydney,
you see that comment?
Sydney, when I find you, Sydney.
This is exactly the reaction I wanted.
Oh yeah. Do you know where we can turn in rewards for bounty posters?
So as you say that, you actually see a poster nailed to the captain's guard box of the Grung. He goes, yeah, yeah. Do you we don't have much here. We only got this small one. And he knocks on the wood. These Grung hunters, they've been stealing livestock in our
Perfect.
town.
Christian, can you pass me the bag?
Yep.
And I
Oh.
take the bag and I throw it at him. The
Prepare
guy.
yourself.
Oh, well, he looks in the bag. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Looks good to me.
Money, please.
Yeah, let me go get it. You mind, here. And he starts walking next to the cart. He says, I'll show you where to park. And he brings you over, like, a little ways down the road, like 60 feet, to this stable that looks like it could only fit your one cart. He says, this is the town stable. You can keep your cart in there and come on. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Okay. Whole group?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So you guys follow Captain Bara, who makes his way to this strip of local businesses. And one of them just says banker. He walks on in and the little like bell chimes above head. He says, morning, Earl. Morning, Captain Bara. Wait a minute. What do you mean morning? It's the evening. Oh, sorry, I just woke up. Okay. What can I do you for, Captain? These, I don't know, adventures, I guess? Came wandering in with the grung folk. The grung folk. They're with the grung? No. They killed the grung. Oh, that's good, I guess. I'm guessing they're here for the reward? Yeah, they're here for the reward. He hands in the wanted poster. And the Earl, the banker, says, "Alrighty, I'll be right back." And by right back, he like just hops off his chair and he goes like 5 feet to the right. And you hear the telltale signs of a safe lock spinning and clicking and spinning and clicking. And then the creak of the door, and he starts putting these coins into a pouch.
What does security look like here?
Captain Bara.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, the banker puts the pouch of 50 gold onto the counter. And he says, "All right, well, here's your reward. Thank you so much for handling that. You know, they've been taking our cows, killing our pigs. It's been a mess."
Mm-hmm.
Well, enjoy. And then he slides the pouch over. And, you know, I'm sure everyone in town would be very grateful. So if you need anything, you know, I'm sure Captain Bar would love to show you around. Captain Bar goes,
Chastity perks up and she goes, could you show us to where we might be able to stay for the night?
Stay. Sure. He like scratches his head. I'll see if Melly's got room. And he says, "Come on." And he like waves his paw hand. And do you guys start to leave the bank?
Yeah. If Damien's the one that took the money, he'll palm out 10 each and toss it where it needs to go.
Oh, thank you for being responsible.
Yeah.
Sybil's just gonna count the money, make sure.
I was like really worried Damien would like steal all of it.
Please, let's not be robbing this right now.
I mean, I thought for half a second, I'm like, I could beat up an old man. I could beat up an old man and rob a bank. Like,
Sure. You want to?
No.
no.
I was
Not
like,
right now.
Anarchy!
not tonight,
Anarchy.
please.
Not when we have to wrap up soon, but maybe
Not
next
a
time.
You
level
don't have to
20
wrap
banker.
up soon. I don't work tomorrow.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
I want to get to this bed and breakfast and see if we end up in and there was only one bed situation.
Mhm.
I'll have to roll for it. So, you guys get to like this nice looking house. It looks like a cottage, and it looks like a pretty big cottage. And he opens up the door for you guys, lets you guys in. He'll file in after. And Teacup scurries in. "Melly, I'm back." Again, I don't know if my mic picked that up.
I got it.
We heard
Okay,
the
God.
part.
Okay, so you see what looks to be like, you know what? I want everyone to roll me a history check.
I'm awesome at those.
Let's see.
Free.
I'm all-
18.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
22.
Nice.
12.
12. So pretty much everyone except for Damien. Alan,
Even
it-
Sybil? Brutal.
wait, what did Sybil get again?
6.
I think,
thought-
yeah.
Oh, Sybil got a 6? Oh, so everyone
Yeah.
but Damien and Sybil. Sorry. Everyone but Damien and Sybil.
Way to ruin it for me, Damien.
Yeah.
No, we have to be dumb together.
So, dumb and pretty. So,
Exactly.
Sybil and Damien, you guys don't know. Alan, it takes you a minute, but you think you do know. Behind the counter looks to be like what looks like a minotaur woman. She looks more cow than human, but she very much like Damien and Captain Bara, who are these bipedal animals. Melly looks, you know, looks like a minotaur woman. Sorry, was catching up on chat. Okay. Teacup runs over to the counter and Melly just looks down and says, "Oh, hello, welcome back, Teacup." And Teacup like puts their paws up on the counter and like lifts itself up so their chin is like on the counter and their feet are like dangling down. Melly, look at these friends that I made.
Mm, strong word.
Good afternoon.
Oh, well, welcome in. I usually don't expect this many guests. She looks over to Captain Bara. He just shrugs. There should be enough rooms. Um, let's see. 5 of you plus Teacup makes 6. I do have 3 rooms. So, are you guys comfortable with sharing?
They all one bed each, or
Um, one of the rooms is 2 smaller beds.
Chastity hears the fact that she might have to share a bed with any of these people and starts to sweat. And she just kind of goes up and grabs Teacup and is like, "Teacup, I can share with you."
Yay, you're like a human blanket. Well, you're not a human. You're a tiefling.
uh-huh.
A what?
A what?
A tiefling.
What's that?
A tiefling is kind of, well, it's you.
And what am I?
Kind of, well, how do I explain this? It's kind of like someone who is the spawn or descendant of a creature of hell.
And hearing Chastity drop Teacup, she turns around so that her back is up against Melly's desk and she sinks straight down to the floor and like wraps her arms around her knees and puts her head down and she just starts screaming, "Oh my god, I'm the spawn of Satan! This really is hell!"
Oh,
Sybil
poor
was just
little
laughing her
hell
head off.
spawn.
She's just gonna stay down there for a while.
Wait, I heard what Alex said. What did you say, Sam?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Sybil's gonna be laughing her head off.
Mhm.
Oh, Teacup says, why did she get short?
because
It's
she
a
thought she.
tiefling thing.
Oh. But tieflings are cool.
Yeah, but she was trying to be an angel, not a devil.
Oh, angels are fine, I guess. They kind of creep me out.
Chastity's still just whining and crying.
By the way, do you know what the rest of us are?
Yeah, for the most part. Let's see. I know, points at Sybil. I know what you are because, I had to deal with one recently. But, like, I had to deal with, like, a monstrous version. Oh, I didn't like it. I almost died. You're, fuck you.
This
You
is
too,
Alex.
Tika.
This is Alex, I swear.
I'm gonna start beef with the Tika.
just the real quick fuck you.
Well done, Sydney. I will shut up. I sorry.
Thanks. Just that meme of who taught him to say fuck.
Who taught Teacup to say fuck?
Honestly, probably Chastity, unfortunately. She's been cursing a lot since
That is
she got
true. I
here.
think Chastity's actually been the one cursing. Well, no, Damien too, but
Damien and
Damien has
Chastity.
a sailor's mouth.
it's very
gonna
funny
happen.
how Chastity and Damien are the two fucking sailor mouths right now.
She's having a breakdown. Cut her some slack.
Mhm.
I suppose.
So she says to Sybil, "You're a yawn tea." Yeah, yawn tea. That sounds
Weird
right.
obsession with tea in this place.
You're weird.
All right, you 2-pint rabbit. What the hell am I then?
You're a Leonin, and I may be 2 pint, but at least I'm cute and at least I'm nice. You're a big jerk.
Yeah,
Saying
you
something
tell
I
Tika.
haven't heard before.
Oh yeah? Well, you're big and fluffy and you're a big softy and you turned into a lion because you're probably a coward.
How does she know that reference?
I think Damien's gonna grab him by the fucking throat.
Oh,
Okay.
please, can we not do this again?
Do you want me to roll for it or just have it happen?
No, it's so easy. You're fine. Go ahead.
Chastity sees this going on, and so she gets up, she collects herself, she dusts off her dress, takes
Please,
a deep breath.
Please don't shout again.
I'm not. She's just gonna turn to Damien and say, Damien, please, it's late. Could we not do this now?
I imagine that when he scooped up Teacup, he brought Teacup to like eye level with him, so like the 7 feet up, just drops them like that.
So you actually drop him because of what Chastity says?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He's not worth it anyway.
So you drop them, and as they're falling, Captain Bara catches Teacup, and you don't know how he got in front of you so fast.
Anyway, we got beds to figure out. And he glances over at Sybil. Has a little bit of a smirk.
She smirks back and like wiggles her eyebrows like it's not the first time.
What do you
Damn,
think?
okay.
Old time sick?
Yeah, why not?
Chastity turns a little bit purple at this and then kind of tries to ignore the interaction that just went on. And she looks down at Teacup and she said, well, Teacup and I can probably share one bed. So, Christian, Alan, if you want the room with twins.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, That sounds good.
We'll convene in the morning over breakfast.
Okay.
Morning, like 11 a.m.
I don't think they have
Um,
clocks in this world.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Melly says checkout will be at 10.
Ah,
Maybe.
look at that. They got clocks.
Maybe they have clocks in
Oh,
this.
hey, actually, that reminds me, or that brings something up. Sydney, I think you said before that I had a watch from Jim.
Yeah.
Do I have it, or is it gone?
It looks different. It's it's a pocket watch now, and its mechanisms look a lot more old school than what a 1950s wristwatch would have looked like.
And it's functioning?
Yeah. It's working, like it's on, but you're not sure if the time is accurate. It looks a little strange. So instead of having like times of the day, it has like the moon and then different phases of the sun on the right side and different phases of the moon on the left side.
Okay.
Kind of like signaling like different times of the day.
Chastity pipes up into the like timing and morning discussion and she says, well, I'm a naturally early riser anyway, and we have to be out of here by whatever time 10 a.m. is in this world. So Teacup and I will get up, and then I'll come and knock on the doors and help wake you guys up. If you could just be decent when I come knocking, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, be decent.
No promises.
Maybe I'll wake you last and Christian can do it.
Okay.
Or maybe you can save some time and join us.
I think I'd rather sleep in the stable.
Suit yourself.
Wait, don't you want to know what the rest of you guys are?
Sure. I think I
Okay.
know
It would
what I
just
am,
be
though.
Alan, right?
So,
Christian looks the same as he has before.
so Alan's a drow, and Christian, and like Teacup scurries up to you, Christian, and like kind of squints at you, and says, "No, he's not." Silly.
Is he then?
Shrugs. I don't know. Not human though.
Interesting.
Christian, do you feel any different?
Feel the same as always.
With you, I don't know if that's a good sign or not.
I'd say it's a good sign.
I'm sure you would.
It means my mind's working.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so should we head to bed?
Yeah, I'm sleepy.
All right, Teacup. And then Chastity scoops them up.
Yeah. And Teacup is also holding its jar like a baby. It has been sloshed around so much. Teacup is so worried about it.
Oh.
And then as you like start to like walk up the stairs, Teacup actually says, "I'm really worried if I spill it, like what if my master will hate me?"
Well, Teacup, you said your master was nice, right? Maybe they'll forgive you.
Yeah, but I don't like messing up.
Well, then we just won't let you spill it, okay?
Okay, but I don't know, that lion man almost broke it.
Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on Damien, okay?
Okay. Alrighty. So, Alan and Christian heading to bed in the room with separate beds. Chastity and Teacup sharing a room to be little snuggle buddies for the night. And Damien and Sybil doing, I assume, the devil's tango.
I was gonna say probably like once that door is shut, look over at her and be like, "Sleep isn't gonna be the first thing that happens, is it?"
You honestly thought?
Of course
Okay.
I didn't. We got new
Who doesn't
bodies to
think?
test out. We've got new bodies to test out. I say we push the limits of it. I want to see if that spot on your neck still drives you crazy.
Okay.
We're getting spicy.
So, with that, you guys settle in for the evening. Christian, as you guys fall asleep, I'm assuming, you're finishing up some sketches from the day.
Yep.
After you call it a night and you lay down, you think you're asleep. You start to dream of this shadowy, foggy mist. And you can't really quite make anything out, but you do know you're walking through it. And that voice from earlier today comes back to you. In your dream, it repeats, "You finally arrived." And then you keep on walking through this shadowy, foggy mist. And this time, new words from the voice. "You've grown up so much." Do you attempt to respond or act in your dream?
You said it's foggy, so I can't really see much.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I speaking to? And where can I find you?
You'll find me when I need you to find me. Don't worry too much about the details right now. Have fun. This world is your oyster, my little pearl.
So be it. I'll make the most of this world.
Um, one final thing before we finish up. Sybil,
Mm-hmm.
while I am fading to black this scene. Before you
Mhm.
guys really get into it, still in the early, like, flirting, making out, foreplay kind of stuff, your chest starts to burn.
Like an agonizing burn, or can she just kind of ignore it?
You try to ignore it for a little while. And then it becomes like you're like someone is squeezing you from the inside. And then you hear that familiar voice. I don't like sharing my toys.
The fuck you mean? She replies back
He's
to that voice.
out loud.
Yeah.
So in the middle of you
Huh?
and Damien kissing that spot on her neck,
Y- You're right, Sybil.
She's just like this clutching her chest, like where the burning is, the squeezing. And she just like tries to like focus on one spot in like the room. And yeah, like she like repeats herself, like, what do you mean?
Damien, what do you do?
He looks around and just tries to see if she's talking to somebody else.
No one's there.
Sybil, you all right? You good? Like, do you need to stop? Like,
Does her voice respond again?
Nope.
Is the burning still there?
Does Damien stop?
nice enough. Like after the words would probably have at least pulled back.
Yes. The
Still
burning
close,
eases
but
up. The burning doesn't go away, but it eases.
She's gonna try something and like kiss him again.
You pull him down into a kiss, and your body doesn't let you.
The fuck?
he's like surprised for a moment to be like put on his back, and then just kind of
She try.
like
I, all I can say is
what
she tries to like push, like move.
You can, but it is agonizing. Eventually, it goes away, and you can continue your scene. But it does make you question.
Yeah.
After your guys' romp, you dream of that figure. And the Fey man says, "That's not what I meant when I said entertain me."
She is gonna charge at him and grab like a fistful of his shirt.
You charge at him,
Yeah.
and he disappears into smoke. Uh. We ask nice if you want to touch.
Well, where I'm from, people usually introduce themselves and don't play mind fucking games.
Names are powerful, aren't they, Sybil Daniels? Funny that you guys carry around cards that put your whole life onto them. And he like materializes like a driver's license and then snaps and it's gone.
That wasn't mine, was it?
It was.
All right, I'm just gonna ask you plainly. Just fucking quit with the rhymes
I don't rhyme.
and just say who you are and what you want.
I told you. I'm bored. I want to have fun. But unfortunately, our little deal means sometimes I could be in your head. And I can turn it off, that's easy enough. But when you're feeling strong emotions, it's harder to block you out. And I'm sorry, but that was disgusting.
You perv, and she's gonna try to like deck you.
You don't like really see him anymore. Like ever since you charged at him, he was just a disembodied voice. Like he showed up to like show your license, like you just see his hand and his arm, but not even the rest of him. And he says, "I told you, I'd shut it out if I could."
Then why don't you go get
That's
your rocks off somewhere else?
my rocks. Oh, you humans are strange.
Funny, I can say the same thing to you, whatever you are.
Don't worry. I have plenty of partners that visit my bed. But I'm glad to see that you're worried about me like that.
She just laughs at that, like, oh, that's the funniest joke you said all evening.
Listen, I haven't had a deal or a bargain, I should say a bargain, with anyone in quite some time. So it's been a minute since I've had to deal with other people's emotions to this caliber. Now be a good pet, won't you?
I am not your pet.
And there's no more response after that as you drift back into a dreamless sleep. The rest of you find sleep rather easily. Damien, a bit odd going to sleep since you try to forget what happened in the beginning of everything. Alan, you sleep rather peacefully, but you're definitely questioning some things and probably keeping that to yourself. And Chastity, you and Teacup are having a delightful, unproblematic evening together.
That's so great for us. I love that.
That's so beautiful for you.
Envy.
With that, we will wrap up tonight's session. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know we ran a little later. I hope you guys had fun. It was really great getting into the meat of it. And this was the couple of like pre-written episodes, not in Fantasy Kansas anymore, and on the road again.
Wahoo. Obligatory, do we level up question?
So, you are
Yeah.
now officially level 1.
Hmm.
You are no longer level 0, so congratulations on being level 1.
Yay.
we'll probably get to next level in the next session.
Cool.
And just as we ended session 1, I do just want to go around really quick. I would love to hear from each of you about what you're looking forward to next time. Christian?
For next session or just future
Next
into the campaign? Next session.
Or in the future, whichever.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing the voices in my head some more. Can't wait to find out what race I am. Yeah. But that won't happen next session.
Probably not.
Likely.
Probably not. Damien.
I want to know what's going on with Christian and Sybil's heads so dearly. Man, I want to put that white-haired guy under a microscope, honestly. Since session 1, I'm like, I want to pick him apart. I want to see what makes him tick. So yeah, that's probably a pretty big thing. I think something that I'm gonna want to explore and gonna have some fun with is purposely having Damien out of that conversation of wormholes and other theories and portals and moving. I think he's just gonna live it up and pretend it's a dream for a while. He's just gonna have fun, enjoying and destroying and taking whatever he wants.
Great, I can't wait to make him sad again. Alan.
Yeah, won't be long.
I'm looking forward to Teacup pissing off Damien even more at every single turn.
Yes.
True.
Thank you. Teacup was like, there's only so much I can put up with. And Chastity.
I'm excited for Chastity to loosen up a little bit more. She's already kind of started to, but she's still kind of too stressed and too tense and can't let like the programming go. And I'm also excited to see just how effective she can be at keeping Damien from murdering all of our allies.
And Sybil.
I'm very much looking forward to this mysterious figure and how she reacts with him. Definitely angry at him. Hates that he's speaking in rhymes. And yeah, like it's just exploring that bargain they struck and all that.
All right. Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear it. We are going to wrap up our stream for the evening. We will be back next week next week, calendar lady.
Next week will be Blades.
Yes, but we are definitely doing Blades next week. I can't remember, you probably won't be with us, correct?
Yes, so next week we have Blades scheduled. And it looks like Prophet, Pharaoh, and Chimera are gonna have to manage on their own because Sydney and I will not be present.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
I will
We'll miss you, pretty
see.
ladies.
I will try to see if I can make it, but no promises from me.
Okay.
Miss Gabby will definitely be away for a much deserved and lovely time off. And we'll see you for Blades next week, and then in 2 weeks we'll be back with session 3, right?
On the 16th, I'm on vacation.
Chicken nuggets. Okay.
Oh, we're still on the calendar. We just will be minus Kevin.
Okay. So we will write in Christian doing something that day. So join us in 2 weeks for session 3 of Here Be Heroes. And I hope you all have a lovely weekend. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much and good night.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.